Gotta watch out for the sleep staff, though. The problem with the sleep staff is its hit rate is not displayed on this screen, so I can't tell how much hit rate it has against Cormag until I find out the hard way. And if Cormag does happen to get hit with sleep and then all these Wyvern Riders gang up on him, I have seen him in danger of dying here before, so we've got to watch out for that. But just to show you how much damage this guy does, although I could equip this. Yeah, that's a lot of damage and a somewhat decent hit rate. And equipping the sword would mean that you guys do a lot more damage and have a much better hit rate against me. There's also the Shaman. And the Paladin too, I guess. In theory, the best outcome here would be for me to hit both of these and for that guy to die. Under true hit, it's kind of likely, but it's not totally guaranteed. Also, I'm pretty sure this is turn 7. Yes, it is. So we want to be careful around here and make sure Ephraim is healed. Having Garrick down here is going to be a great help, though. Might as well visit this house and show the conversation. This explains why all of the treasures are here. Yeah, I found a few of them already. About that, I've already found it. So, yeah, that's the conversation that I said would be amusing. I kinda don't want Erica down here because things are gonna get a bit dangerous. And Amelia, yeah, this is why Armors plus Desert is really, really, really bad. Also, there's another hidden item around here, so I'm going to have Rennek loot that. Like I said, if you bring 2 thieves to this chapter, I suppose I can go ahead and heal loot. Then you've got a better shot at finding all of the treasures faster. And there are a lot of really good ones. But I didn't really have room to bring 2 thieves. I also like to bring Idis to this chapter sometimes to fight the Pegasus Knight reinforcements, but once again, didn't have room this time. Gonna keep you 2 around here. I suppose I can visit this house too. This house mainly exists to give you a bit of a recap of some things that happened on the other routes. Or Command Ed. Yes, he's now past tense. And Valter soon will be too. So if you're on Ephraim's route, this is for benefit of you, because you wouldn't have known that. And this, when I first played, I was on Erica's route, so this was information that I didn't know. And he's actually present here. He was also here for a brief moment. That means that all of the Imperial generals who aren't currently dead were here at some point. And yeah, it turns out this guy is kind of a spy, which is pretty awesome. Once again, it mainly exists just to recap stuff you've already found out. Well, you would know if you played both routes, but if you haven't, then it's definitely useful information to know. Don't know about Ewan getting attacked by the Paladin. 28. It's not quite exactly as much HP as he has, but it's almost. I'm gonna go for a hit on this thing first. Oh, it did a bit of damage. Oh yeah, the moment that I attack that guy, that's gonna activate this Sleep Staff Troubadour. I'm pretty sure that's what triggers her moving. I actually do need the Regan Leaf. I was wondering if I could do it without it for a second, but unfortunately no. And that would also trigger that Paladin, I guess. Speaking of that Paladin... I guess I don't really need to provoke that Berserker now. It's probably better if I hold off. And that's your last use of Eclipse, and I don't care because it's never done anything, and it never will. Tempting fate, but it still probably won't happen. No, of course it wouldn't. Javelins. Always annoying. Kind of wish Ephraim had a javelin from earlier, but not the case. And yeah, Shamans from up the top of the map, and this huge group of annoying enemies, which, when I was practicing, I forgot about them, and I got pretty freaked out when they first showed up. This Paladin, thankfully, doesn't have a silver weapon or anything like that, but he's still kind of strong. I have a couple of these guys. A few axe users, which is going to be bad for Ephraim, and quite a few mages as well. In fact, it might be a good thing for me to finish off these mages now. Don't even need... Wow, the Zambato was only barely less damage than the Silver Sword, and maybe even... Oh, right. That's 18 might, so it's only a little bit higher than these. Forgot for a second that it was triple, not double. Just gonna go for finishing off the mages because they're probably the biggest threat to Garrick here. Other than the Paladin, I guess. But yeah, you do want to have some people reinforcing Ephraim's position down here at this point. I wonder if some of them can get to Amelia. No, it doesn't look like... Well, the Paladin might be able... No, not even the Paladin can. Thanks to this single desert tile here, which really screws up these mounted characters. It's kind of amusing. There's just one little bit of desert, but it means their movement is all completely messed up. Now, there is a hidden item around here, but I didn't find it. That's the Worm Slayer, I believe. Now, you don't get critical... Well, you actually do have a bit of a chance of getting criticals, so let's not do that. And let's have Ross hit this one. Not quite enough. And that should get you to level 20. Which means I'll be able to refresh you at... Nothing, really? Well, at least that's my first no-up this playthrough. Of course, fittingly it happened on Ross. Which meant that nothing includes no speed. Kind of wish Tana could have promoted in this chapter too, but it's fine. She's done quite a good job here. Now, unfortunately, Ross is not going to get much more action this chapter, and even though it's completely stupid because I find Berserker better than it in every way, I'm going to go Warrior here just for the sake of having a little bit more variety in classes if I ever have the two routes fight against each other in the Link Arena in the post-game. So yeah, this is not what I would normally promote Ross to, but I guess for a little bit of variety. Mainly because of this, no speed on promotion. I guess Bose is okay. But yeah, Warrior's pretty much all about raw power and not much else, and it doesn't have Berserker's critical rate or the ability to walk on mountains and water. And yeah, it's particularly useful to have your healer being able to... I wonder if I should put Ephraim on that forward. Although there are a couple of axe users. And with an elixir used, he could probably do it, but that's probably safer to go for Giselle here. Oh right, that Paladin still hasn't moved. That Paladin's still got a lot of movement range. Do have to be a little bit careful here. Something that I say a lot, but still. Maybe I should have put Ephraim on the fort, actually. Don't like that Paladin still being here. There's something kind of silly that I might be able to show. Is that Ewan, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Ewan one-shots that Troubadour. Troubadours are supposed to have good resistance, so that's pretty ridiculous. But I don't want Ewan getting hit by 2 Paladins in the space of the same turn. And if I have Ewan attack Ewan melee range, then it means that he's going to get attacked by some Wyvern Riders. I guess now might be a good enough time to go for the Berserker then. But yeah, remember I said mages have control over this battlefield? Ewan can pretty much, still be careful though, but Ewan can pretty much just retreat into the desert and the enemies won't really be able to follow him. Which is pretty cool. I guess I gotta do this. This is what I like doing, taking this guy out from range, but sometimes I get screwed and miss. Like that! What the? Double miss? Why does my luck continue to torment me like this? Well, this might end badly. We'll see. Double miss, though. Really? Pretty sure I don't need to worry about Garrick here. Being a hero, he's both fast and pretty defensive. Has a lot of HP. Even those mages weren't doing much to him. Garrick is all-round just pretty amazing. That's what I was worried about. And that hit. Of course it did. Cormac's gonna have to dodge a lot of attacks, and you're gonna... Of course you hit both times now! I mean, it could have been worse. He could have crit, but still. Gain defense, maybe? Speed and defense, not bad. And there's a Devil Axe, which obviously you can't use. And I don't really want many people to be using that. Like I said, the Devil Axe, there's one redeeming quality to it. It gives a huge amount of weapon experience, so if you want to level up someone's axe rank quickly, it's a good weapon to use. Just be careful because it can very easily kill you. I personally don't like using it because you know how bad my luck is. I have had a double Devil Axe backfire once, although that was in New Mystery of the Emblem's bonus chapters, so it didn't really count for the main story at all. It was still pretty funny when it happened, though. Okay. I said dodge a lot of these, please. Yeah, this is going to be bad if they all hit him. Uh-oh. I just realized something. If that spear breaks, he's going to equip a sword. And that means they get weapon triangle advantage. I should have thought that through. That's not good. That's really bad, actually. Well, that's the spear broken, and I guess that means that a Wyvern Rider can't attack you from below? Oh, he's equipping the Killer Lance, even though he may still die anyway. I know one of them has a Javelin. Why did I have to double miss that Berserker? Okay, I think Cormac's actually safe, provided that he doesn't get hit with the Sleep Staff. Well, I guess it didn't really matter which hit you criticaled on, because you were having to endure an enemy attack regardless. Please don't get hit by the Sleep Staff. Okay, there's that Paladin. And there's that Silver Lance I was worried about. Double, please? Thank you. Don't think we've actually seen an enemy Paladin sprite before. That's okay, I guess. Also weapon triangle advantage, but that's not really going to matter. I'm just praying that Cormac doesn't get hit by the Sleep Staff. I mean, that Troubadour is terrible. So, but I don't want to tempt fate here. You know what happens when I tempt fate? Especially against status staves. Which apparently people say only use one RN in this game. I guess that makes sense, because I've seen a lot of status staves miss 90s, and I've seen a lot of them hit low percents. In an off-camera practice of Chapter 14 Ephraim, I did see a Berserk staff miss not with a 90% chance. So that would lend credence to the 1 RN theory. Oh. Oh, there's 2 of them. But, yeah, with Javelins, they're not going to kill him. Like I said, though, the thing that I'm really worried about is that Just barely survived that. Please don't hit Cormag. Please don't hit Cormag. 20! Thank you! Okay, Cormag is safe. Even though there are more Shaman spawning from there. Because his enormous movement range means that he can run and... I might need to refresh him with Tethy's. Yeah, I can actually get him into Tethy's range. Wait, can I? No, he's just out. And, actually, how big is your stuff? Does anybody here have an elixir? You don't. You don't. You have a vault. That's actually going to be... I think if I pass that around, I'm pretty sure that that would be enough for Cormag to survive. Kind of wish he'd killed that one, though, because combined, these two are not really much of a threat. Okay, I'm kind of worried about Cormag, but for now... Let's see. Ross is going to have to not attack one of... Wait a minute. So Cormag goes all the way up to there. Which is... Is it right up to the cliff or just below the cliff? It's just below the cliff. Which is actually out of your range. So... Okay. This is making me nervous, but I think I can do this. So I need to trade you the Vulnerary, then dance. And then Ross has to go there, and then, fortunately, has just enough movement, and then Cormac has to get that Vulnerary, and then that should work. Oh, actually, you can't even chase Cormag, can you? I could be wrong about that, so I don't want to risk it. For now, of course, you can't one-shot either of them. It doesn't really matter, though, since they're not... Well, you can one-shot now! But, like I said, since they're not really that big of a threat here... Okay, Ross there... Cormag goes up here. Make sure to actually use the... And also make sure that I don't switch to a sword when it would screw me over. Alright, and yeah. I had a feeling they wouldn't have been had enough movement to chase Cormag anyway. That's part of the reason why I decided to... I was not really concerned for him, but the reason being they were right next to him, so I thought that if they were next to him they could. But yeah, having one less movement space. Yeah, I thought that was fine. Okay, that's just out, although Ewan can still do his one-shot on this thing, which is still pretty hilarious. Just, I don't know why, but it's just like, staff users should not be getting one-shotted by magic users. At least I don't have to worry about a Valter getting hit with the physics staff. To get in there, but let's, for now, I don't like that hit rate. Should probably get rid of the Thunder first. Even though that's not a good hit rate either, although I do have Natasha. Didn't even need to worry. Garrett gets to show off one of my favorite critical animations twice. Okay, yeah, I think Amelia should be okay here. I'm gonna have Natasha heal Garrick, though. Not that he really needs it, but just in case. He has so much health that he doesn't get fully healed, but, well, I mean, you know. It is just the power of a normal heal staff. Meanwhile, looters like weapon triangle? What weapon triangle? Don't think loot will actually be promoting this chapter though, which is sad. I would really like to see a sage loot running around the desert here. And I guess we can build more supports. And here's our other thing, although I need to go... So there's the Worm Slayer. I need to go around here, though. I could give you the Warp Staff. Yeah, you have an A rank in staves. That might actually help. It would be really ridiculously stupid if Noel actually got one of the treasures in this chapter, but I don't think he will. Okay, you're just barely in sleep range, but given that sleep's hit rate is based off of resistance, and Ewan's resistance is enormous, that's nothing to really worry about. What might be something to worry about is... I just guess I'll just use the elixir, not really concerned about resources at this point. I know I shouldn't really be concerned about getting all of the items here, because I'm going to have to get them again on Ephraim's route anyway, but I want to just show you where all of them are. It's kind of interesting, despite how many enemies there are in this chapter, they tend to get cleared out pretty quickly. Of course, everyone with their range attacks is going for someone who can't attack from 1 to 2 range, so I'm going to have to get rid of them all next turn, but that's fine. $19 hit rate, though. That's pretty nice. Oh, you know what? Alright, so a lot of people have been wanting to see the warrior critical animation. Now that I've said that, it probably won't happen, but I can try and show that with the killer axe on Ross. It's not that likely, but if it happens... Well, it didn't happen that time. There it is! Yeah, of all the ridiculous spinning criticals in this game, that has got to be one of the best. He basically turns into Taz from Looney Tunes for a second there. It's still a pretty good animation. Some people say it's worth going warrior just for that. Oh, I guess that's another level up. Though you're still not going to be promoting this chapter. See, this is how much strength I expect Tana to get. Her on Ephraim's route has kind of been failing me. I don't really want to run the risk of getting hit with the sleep staff. Oh, right, I need to have Rennet go around the other way. Because I need to grab a treasure over here. Stupid desert. That one tile of desert confounding me again. But at least you can one-round the mage. Or not! I'm not that really concerned, though, because... Oh, you do have a javelin. I completely forgot about that. Well, let's just squash the paladin, then. Didn't miss that 80, which is good. Not enough for a level, though. Let's go for this. This is, I guess, a little bit more likely to happen. And a single mage isn't really going to do all that much. I wish Joshua had a ranged sword here, but it is not to be. Can heal him for 1 HP, though. Should probably unequip Adhulma, I just realized, because I don't want to be wasting that. And now that guy's been walled off. Actually... if I put Ephraim here, I'm going to be able to show a conversation, which is actually a pretty brief one. But this is the last time in the game we get to hear the reunion song. And that's all you get to see, so pretty short conversation. And I really want Cormac to get healed. Let me just see, how much? 23, 17. So that's 6 damage, and then you do, with the Javelin, 19, 17, 2. So that's fine. Or I could try sending Ross in a little bit. Guess Luke can go and try and find more treasures. And that missed anyway. So, just clearing the way, because you know what's about to happen. Although, I could still potentially get screwed over here. Because Valter has a lot of ways. He has a decent crit rate, and he also has that pierce skill, so... And that, unlike some skills, it can activate at range. So there's no way to avoid that. In fact, pierce activating at range is a really bad thing, because it can potentially trigger the pierce glitch. I guess now's as good a time as any to talk about the specifics of the pierce glitch. So, how the pierce glitch works is, you have to trigger pierce and double against an enemy who can't counterattack. What happens is, this is what people have theorized is what's causing the glitch, but is that the HP bar is decreasing way too quickly for the game to keep up with, and the second hit happens before the game is finished decreasing the HP bar from the first, because the pierce animation is very fast. Oh, by the way, there's a body ring here. It's another one of the hidden treasures. So yeah, like I said, pierce animation is very, very fast, so the HP bar decreases too quickly for the game to keep up with, and causes the game to glitch out. So, usually it only happens if you're using a brave weapon, or if you're attacking with a long-range weapon. Because, like I said, how it works is you have to double, and you have to attack an enemy that cannot counterattack you. And for some very weird reason, this glitch only exists in the English version. I don't know why, like, how that could possibly be related to the translation in any way, but it does. So, it's very, very weird. But anyway, that's Pierce. Something else I should talk about as well, and I was saving talking about it until now, is Valter's backstory. Yes, Valter actually does have a backstory. You can only see it, though, in Dussel and Cormag supports. So, Valter was never a particularly nice person to begin with, but one day he found a cursed lance and touched it, and the cursed lance basically amplifies all of the negative emotions in the one who holds it. And because of that, Valter became the person we know and hate today. Again, you only find this out if you get Cormag and Dussel supports. But it is kind of interesting, though it's weird that, of all things, the backstory of a villain gets revealed in supports between those two people. They're also a pretty interesting support chain. Basically, Cormag thinks it might be possible for him to one day use that cursed lance for good. Let's just hope that he's stronger of will than Valter was. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. It's kind of a cool backstory detail that you get in those supports. Actually, Dussel has a lot to say about other characters' backstories in his supports, which is why I want to really show you Dussel and Amelia's supports. You'll see. For now, though... Oh yeah, also speaking of Valter and Dussel, Valter does not have a special boss conversation with Dussel. You'd think he would, but he doesn't, which is kind of odd. He definitely has boss conversations with both Ephraim and Erica, though, which I'll definitely be showing, though I might be restore pointing those. I don't think I have anything to lose by loading a restore point at this point. Didn't mean to say point so many times. Now, let me just quickly check which treasures haven't I got. I know there's a silver blade here. Wormslayer. Oh, there's one very important treasure that I don't have here. Oh, wait, there isn't a silver blade. Must have been thinking of a different desert chapter there. There's a killer bow that's in a very tiny little area around here. Around these bones is another pretty valuable item, and down here near Valter is Eclipse. Well, like that's going to help, but I want to show all of the items, so I might have to cut to Rennek making his way around the map here. We'll give you some time to heal Cormag anyway. Speaking of Cormag, he's still getting attacked by this Sleep Staff. Compare the hit rate to this Troubadour, to the Bishop from Chapter 14. Well, it finally hit, but thankfully I have a Restore Staff using him. You did remember to bring a Restore Staff, didn't you? No. How many turns you were asleep for? 4. Well, I mean, I'm going to have to spend that many turns going around the map to get the treasure anyway. Yeah, this still isn't quite in the range of where the Killer Bow treasure is. It's a very small area. At least it's on FE6, where one of the treasures could only be found by one specific character, who was also really squishy and loved to get... Oh, okay, I lucked out there. That's another one of the treasures. Swift Soul. It's Boots from other games. They just called it a more cool-sounding name in this one. So, basically, that's the Boots. So, I've got that. I think the only things I have left are the Killer Bow and Eclipse. So I can kind of have Tana hover around here just to try and find Eclipse, because she's got a pretty good luck stat. Nope, no Eclipse yet. But if I go around there for a few turns, I probably should be able to find it eventually. And I can do something silly to this Troubadour. Massive, massive overkill, although you'd already lost your Sleep Staff, so it's not like you're much of a threat. And they drop more Men's Staff. Guess that's alright. Do I want the Victory as Neotheme playing? You know what, I might as well. Valter doesn't move, so that's good. If he did move, this would actually be pretty bad. I mean, you'd think that, like, on Ephraim hard mode, maybe they'd make Valter move, but he doesn't. And Yun is still being a pretty effective magical tank slash magical powerhouse. Now I just need to grab the remaining weapons, of which there are only 2. Of course, Valter's going to totally destroy Erica, so I'm not putting her anywhere near him. Well, it's probably a good thing that I do that, but still. Probably should have had her there so I could convoy them. That's fine. Gonna have to wait a few turns anyway. No Eclipse yet. But around here is the Killer Bow. There it is. You could buy those from the secret shop in the previous chapter, so it's not that important that you get it here. But at least it's something. I won't say no to a free weapon. Now it's just waiting on actually getting Eclipse. Will Tana find it before Rennek gets there? That's the question. Actually, Ross has a lot of luck. He could try. Also, I can see what Ross does versus Valter. Nope, not doing that. Teddy's has a lot of luck, too. Yeah, when I get around to Radiant Dawn, I'm going to have a lot of quote-unquote fun with the treasures. Hey, there's Eclipse. Okay, that's good. Not that I'm really going to use Eclipse very much. It's pretty spectacularly useless, but it's still at least okay to have. Now you... I don't have any Restore Staffs in the convoy, do I? Yeah, Rachel had the only one, and I have to wait out the turns of sleep. It's kind of a shame. Guess I can give you a preview of how much Valter does too. Nope. I don't like the 6% crit rate, though. Does Ephraim have any supports on this? No, he doesn't. I might be able to get him to support Erica, but I doubt it. I really do want to show off Erica and Ephraim's at least C support, because it's pretty hilarious if you know about Fates. Oh, that's exactly enough to kill you. Nope, not doing that. And if you get pierced, then you'll do even more damage than she has HP. Yeah, be ready for him to do a flat 32 or 30 damage to you because of that pierce skill. Come on, Cormac, wake up. guess I can show what Joshua does to Cormac, not Cormac, Valter. I don't like that 10 crit rate. Come on, wake up, Cormac. There we go. Now, I could still fail this because Valter can still critical or activate Pierce. Thankfully, I'm pretty sure he doesn't double Cormac. You know what? Just to be safe. That's not going to be enough to negate Valter's chance of a critical entirely, but it's going to at least kind of somewhat help. Okay, I do have the support. I do want to show this one. Usually they unlock it around here, which is a good thing because now finally you have both of them in your party permanently, so no need to worry about having a support that doesn't do anything for a third of the game. I don't really need the energy ring, I guess. Wonder if a Angelic Robe will save him from a critical. Anyway, this support. And here it comes. I'm sorry, but it's just, yeah. You thought Kamui was the first face toucher, but there was another. The original face toucher. Ephraim. And it's even a habit of his too, wow, yeah. Ephraim was the original face toucher, confirmed. Yes, exactly, yeah. In fact, this was probably the origin of all of those disgusting rumors that you mentioned in Heroes. Yes, that would be embarrassing and also disgusting. This support is actually pretty awkward in general. Yeah. I'm not gonna continue this support chain for reasons because, yeah. Yeah, no. Not even gonna think about that. Ugh. Anyway, it's time for Valter to hopefully die painfully. How much does he do on a critical? 15 times 3, which would be 45, which is slightly more than you have HP. There is always the possibility of a Pierce crit, but... And I just realized something. If I use the Angelic Robe, it increases your max HP, but... Oh, it does increase your current HP to match. I thought it didn't. In some games, it doesn't do that. Anyway, so now he actually is going to be able to take a normal crit, but not really a Pierce crit. I suppose that's just more raw damage. Oh, I really, really hope this doesn't end horribly for me. But it's time for revenge number 2. Yes, say that directly to his face. That's not going to get you horribly killed. Oh, and insult him too. Now, normally I'd be pretty terrified if one of my Fire Emblem characters exhibited signs of this, but Valter completely deserves it, so I'm not complaining. Ugh, of course that would miss. And I get a weapon level up from that. Is that to S? It is! which actually gives me a timely increase to hit rate, so that's not bad. Oh no, I'm not going to want to use Teddy's here because that would put her in range of Valter and that would be really bad. Still worried this could go very badly, but I want Cormag to be the one to do this. Because Erica and Ephraim actually aren't all that going to be all that effective. You know, maybe I should make a restore point here just so I can show off the other boss conversations. I think that's all the treasure. Oh, and this is normal boss quote. I get the feeling he's going to say that in... oh, great. So that's Pierce. So you want to be ready for that much damage at all times. Valter is definitely not to be underestimated. But thankfully you get a lot of dragon-slaying weapons in the same chapter you fight him. Using a dragon axe would be even more effective, but I always like to do it with Cormag. Okay, I'm gonna go for it right here. Do I have any slightly higher accuracy weapons in mind? No, I don't. This is the best shot I have. Definitely the best shot I have. And Valter dies in painful screaming agony, which is pretty much what he deserved. So with that, it's finally over. And an item that will really benefit Cormag. And after all that, reunion between the two siblings. Hopefully this will not involve face touching. And here, obviously, you get different Sacred Twins on Ephraim's route. So on Erica's route, we get the two weapons that we got in Ephraim Chapter 14. If you're playing Ephraim's route, then you'll get Adhulma and Excalibur here. And mentioning this, which is probably quite surprising to people who played Erica's route, that Vigard is defeated so early. Yeah, it's time to trade information and talk about what to do next, because Grado is pretty much well and truly defeated. But the war is still not over. And so we get Gleipnir and Garm. I already showed them in the last part. We're convening in a random fort in the middle of the desert for some reason. So, this dialogue here, just to get it out of the way now, is the same as it is on Ephraim's route. So basically, they recap things that happen on either route, so depending on which one you've played, you'll always have new information here, though because I've shown both routes, all of this will be old news. Yeah, so this is the recap of what happened on Ephraim's route. The war with Grado is pretty much over, except it turns out that there was a bigger force behind the whole thing. So obviously that stone needs to go. Now this line is interesting. When I first played Erica's route, I didn't realize the true implications of this line. At first, when I thought them saying Vigard died some time ago, I thought they were referring to Ephraim killing Vigard, but actually no, he was dead to begin with. And, unfortunately, we're not going to like who it is. This does make it a bit weird, Noel's line at the start of this chapter saying, oh, it's what Leon would have wanted to help Erica, but he's seen what Leon's really become at this point. And so if you played Ephraim's route, this is new information for you. So we find out what Erica did on her route. And on her route, Leon didn't seem all that evil. He did suffer from mysterious coughing fits, though. Yeah, there was something very off about him there. So, this is all some pretty dramatic reveals if you're playing Erica's route, but if you played Ephraim's, you'll already know them. Yeah, there's no way that makes sense. But the Darkstone clearly did something bad to him. Just like the guard was. And back to triumphant victory music, because LaRachel has a plan. Title drop once again. Unfortunately, we only have 2 of them left. Well, this is a fantasy RPG, all legends are true. So, already 3 of them are down. Plus the reason why they want those bracelets. And yeah, Leon probably would have told them about the bracelets, I guess, although how did he know the secret of them? Considering that not even Erica and Ephraim did when they were young. No, they didn't break them because they were still after the bracelets. They wouldn't be doing that if they had already broken the stone. So... the stones are still safe, so our next destination is set. We have to return to Renee's. And these 2 are reunited. On Ephraim's route, it's you being introduced to Soleil and Mir meeting up with him. And on Erica's route, it's you being introduced to Mir and meeting up with Soleil, who is always with you. So this scene is still pretty much the same on both routes. And that's a bit of a weird place to end it, but with that it's over. Now I am still going to keep my Erica's route save file, because I'm going to want to show some cutscenes from her story, because some of them do differ from Ephraim's quite a bit. Next time, though, we'll be going back to Ephraim's route to show some of the differences in Scorched Sand on his route as bonus footage, and then move on to his Chapter 16. From this point on, the chapters are the same for both routes, but there are going to be some slight differences in enemy formations, and eventually some pretty significant story changes, which I'll be discussing when we get there. So, see you next time when we reclaim our homeland.